Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NinjaTrader Ecosystem webinar room. Before we get started, I would like to take a moment to test for picture and sound. So if you can hear my voice and see the projection in the room, please type a Y. Perfect. Thank you, everyone, for confirming that I am coming in loud and clear. My name is Juanita, and I work here in the NinjaTrader Denver office. We have a very special event for you today with Steve Dahl of Candid Commodities. I'm going to go ahead and place a poll in the room. If I could get everybody to fill out that poll, that would be great. And while you do that, I would like to mention it's important to understand that there are substantial risks in trading commodity futures contracts and Forex. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you and will depend on your specific circumstances and financial resources. It is possible to lose all funds deposited with your broker and could even incur losses beyond these amounts. Please inquire at the following link for more information or for a full copy of the CFTC risk disclosure. Also, please remember that these training webinars are not a solicitation nor a recommendation, but simply educational in nature. This presentation is presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is the technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading software. All brokerage-related questions should be directed to the NinjaTrader brokerage directly at the following phone number and email address. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll and share the results with everyone. The question was, what type of tools or services have you used from NinjaTrader ecosystem? 51% of you are using indicators and strategies. 19% are using education. No one has yet used our programming services. And 30% of you are new to us today and have not yet used the NinjaTrader ecosystem website. With new tools added nearly every day, NinjaTrader ecosystem is home to hundreds of apps and services. You can quickly and easily find the tools or services you're looking for with a simple keyword search. You'll also find information about upcoming webinars and an on-demand archive of previous event recordings. Also, if you're active on social media, we'd recommend you follow us on both Twitter and Facebook to get updates of all things NinjaTrader ecosystem daily. NinjaTrader is always free for advanced charting, strategy backtesting, and trade simulation. To ensure you are on the latest version of NinjaTrader and to pick up a free live data trial, please see the following link. If you are interested in purchasing or leasing NinjaTrader, you're welcome to use the following link. And if you're just getting started with NinjaTrader, we offer free live training on a daily basis. You can view a schedule of weekly webinars at the following link. We're very excited for this unique event in which Steve will teach how to leverage the #1 ranked TAS Market Profile methodology to trade stocks, futures, and Forex with confidence and clarity. Thank you again for joining us. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome to the room, Steve. Steve, go ahead and take it away.
All right, I'm glad to be here. Let me grab the screen and we'll get started. Bear with me. That's what we think. All right. Can you see my screen here? Or is it not maximized?
Coming through good, Steve.
Okay, it's fully maximized to everybody. All right, there I am. Hey. All right, everybody. Hi, I'm Trader Steve. Thanks for joining me here today. And thanks for having me, Juanita, and the entire team over at NinjaTrader. As you know, Juanita, our product and indicators have been on NinjaTrader for actually over 10 years. It's just been a while since I've been on the circuit here, and I'm thrilled to make people be aware of TAS Market Profile. So today's presentation is TAS Market Profile Simplified. In today's presentation, I'm going to be teaching you how to get confidence and clarity in any market and in any time frame, and that is truly unique here at TAS Market Profile. Let's dive into a few things that we need to cover on my end here. First is, take a moment if you're watching this on a recast to pause this and read about all these risk disclosures. A lot of overlap probably of what the Juanita shared with you earlier, but it's important that we share our risk disclosure as well. So again, please read this top to bottom on pause. Okay, here's what you're going to learn today, and this is really exciting stuff. I'm going to teach you how Market Profile works on stocks, futures, Forex and how we modernize it to make it even better. It's important to realize I did not, nor did my company, create Market Profile. That's compliments of the Chicago Board of Trade in the 1980s, this methodology, as you're soon going to learn. But we did make it better and in a grand way. Point number 2 is I'm going to teach you how to read charts like a veteran like myself, 20 years into trading and eat, sleep, and breathe markets, if you can't tell by what I'm staring at here. But I'm going to teach you how you can read charts and do this in any market and time frame. And then lastly, and that's why many of you need to stay to the end of this presentation, is I'm going to be giving you a free indicator called TAS Market Map, which is actually the #1 ranked market profiling tool on some other exchanges, and currently ranked #1 in the FinTech Awards voting for 2021 in our 4th year as data analysis finalist. Okay, enough about that. This is a reminder to stay to the end. That's what the tool looks like. We're going to get into that in just a moment. But who am I and why am I qualified to be teaching you about trading and market profile and technical analysis? Well, here's me to toot my own horn a little bit. Like I said, I've been doing this 20 years, since the year of 2001. My goodness, I'm getting old. 14 years by profession as a trader, broker, a senior market analyst, and a senior executive at one of the busiest trading firms in Chicago. I am the president of TAS Market Profile, our most prominent flagship brand. And we're top ranked technical analysis software, as you're soon going to see, in many arenas. We kind of let our product and our clients do the talking for us, but I'm forced to toot my own horn a little bit here in a live presentation. I'm also founder of We Trade Desk, one of the most exclusive and sought after private trading chat room communities where I stream daily, each and every day, except Fridays in the summer when I work on my golf game, by the way, where you could find me there. And I also have very deep relationships and knowledge of the inner workings of the trading industry because, again, 14 years on the inside myself. Hey, there's me at the firm over there on the left. You could see me in the middle there at the Bloomberg office out in New York City. And there's me again with a suit and tie that I don't wear that often anymore because I work in my satellite office. You can see here TAS Market Profile, our prominent flagship brand, finalist in the Benzinga FinTech Awards for the 4th consecutive year, and we're leading People's Choice Award by a grand fashion as it speaks right now. We only got about a month and a half left of that People's Choice voting. You can take a little peek inside our chat room community. Don't you worry, we're going to get to all the good stuff, which is me teaching you market profile in our tool. But I just want to build a little credibility with you here. There's me out in Walt Disney World in the top left, teaching traders in grand fashion how to leverage those same tools that I'm going to be teaching you here today. And if you can't tell by the images you see here, people like to listen when I talk about technical analysis, and I like to get up close and personal. In fact, it was just last month, actually July, end of July, I was out at the Ritz-Carlton in Miami doing a live workshop, helping traders roll up their sleeves and learn how to be better market traders. Okay, so the point is I teach others how to confidently trade, and well, I like to say I'm pretty good at it. Here you go. Get your pen and pad ready. Even though there's going to be recording of this, so maybe you could just wait for the recording. But if you're a pen and pad type like I am, this is your time to get it. But it is important, in my opinion, that you limit distractions. So this would be this is only going to be about a half hour to 45 minutes long. Limit distractions. This is your chance to possibly have a really an eye-opening epiphany about market profile and how and why it's been around for 40 years, and how our tool, our free tool, can help you starting later today. So here's a big question I want to ask you guys, and I want to get into the chat here so I can see some of the responses here. There we go. What do you think prevents people from trading confidently? Many of you are traders. What keeps you from being confident? I'm going to show you what my experience says it is. I'll tell you. Ooh, if I get my cursor over there, I'm going to tell you that a lot of people use this to describe themselves, and that is, I'm brand new to trading. How many are brand new? I was brand new 20 years ago. Okay. I want you to know something. 20 years later, I still learn new stuff. How many have never been really able to read charts correctly? Meaning, okay, you got charts, you've got your NinjaTrader, of course, as do I, and an account with NinjaTrader, but you kind of are maybe confused at what you're looking at. There's so much information. Oops. Or maybe you feel like you're not smart enough to be an expert trader, or you feel like you can't master the art of technical trading. Or maybe you've lost trading, so you're kind of scared to do it again. Okay, you've been hearing about all these big moves in markets, but you're still afraid to seize the moment. Hey, and maybe you just feel like trading's too complicated. That last one I hear an awful lot from brand new traders that join our community. They say, gosh, this is overwhelming, all this information. And you know what? They're absolutely right. It is complicated if you let it be, but I'm going to show you how to make it super simple here today. So if you answered yes to any of these questions, you're probably a little nervous about your trading. Is that safe to say? Probably. Well, I'm here to tell you that anyone, and that includes you, yep, you, and you, I can see you. Not really, only you can see me. But anyone has the potential to be a successful trader. Now, what if I could show you how to be confident with every trade by visually seeing the direction of the market? That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? And what if I was able to do that without you being an expert in reading charts, without the years, 20 years like me of experience, and without the risk of not knowing what you're doing? Well, if there was a way I could give you real confidence in your decision making, would you be interested in this? Well, you can see in parentheses down there. Am I talking about an indicator? I think indicators get a bad rap, and here's the reason why indicators get a bad rap. Here's why most indicators don't work or do their job of giving you the confidence that I'm going to give you here today. The first is many are start on a flawed basis. It means that people have built indicators on stuff that's not factual information. Now, when I build indicators, as you're soon going to see here today, we start with factual information, okay? Not all indicators can say that. The second is a lot of indicators are curve fit, which means they work when you look to the left of the chart, and they work over that period of time, but they were built for that specific period of time. So they look pretty, but they don't work going forward. And then a big problem we see is lagging, meaning, as a day trader, especially you shorter term traders, you trade on that hard right edge. Many of you have been following along with my small account challenge. It's been pretty awesome on YouTube. And we've done some pretty impressive things there in the small account micro futures trading. But yet it's not possible to trade short term if you got lagging indicators. You got to be quick on the trigger. Others only work on limited markets. How many of you have done an indicator where the disclaimer is, well, you can only use it on the E-mini S&P and you only should use it on 10-minute time horizon? Yeah, I've actually encountered a couple indicators over the years that are like that. Problem is you're very limited in what you can do. You're going to soon learn that my method and tools actually work on any market and time frame: stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, Forex, and even cryptocurrency derivative futures. Pretty cool, huh? Limited time frames is another problem as well, where it only works on a particular time frame. And then obsolescence. Okay, this means they're worthless after markets change. So here you go. This picture is actually a real picture of me on that big screen. This is out in Seoul, Korea, where we have some very loyal traders, an entire community that actually participates in our community as well, learning this method. So here's what you need to know. I knew early on in my trading career, this is almost 20 years ago. Well, it is 20 years ago, okay, that traditional indicators didn't work for most traders for those reasons. But once I found what worked for me, again, I'm talking about methodology. I've literally taught this stuff all over the world, okay? What is it? Drum roll. For all you market profile lovers, you already did this drum roll a long time ago. But for those of you that are new to market profile, I literally teach this with the passion of somebody who has been impacted by this in no better way. Now, you got to remember, I was a professional, which means I traded. I also supported literally over 2,000 traders at the when I retired in 2015. That's a lot of traders to also have the opportunity to help and see what their trading journeys are. But market profile is my passion, and there's me a lot younger, but still scruffy like I am here today. So today I'm going to teach you exactly what market profile is and how you can use it to trade confidently. You notice how this phrase confidently keeps coming up. So let's give you the fast track of market profile 101. I like to say this is volume analysis redefined, because so many people focus on volume. Many even try to make volume alone be an indicator. No, volume has its place in trading, don't you worry, but it doesn't serve the best use of finding timing. You're going to soon see. So this stuff's been around since the 1980s, like I said. Let's talk a little bit about data first and foremost. This stuff is everywhere. I mean, it really is, okay? Data is literally everywhere. Some data spread out to the left, some spread out to the right, and some is variable, up and down, And you see this data in your everyday life. Now, many of you are familiar with this. This is called the normal distribution curve or the bell-shaped curve. There you go. You can see the Liberty Bell over there on the right. It's the bell-shaped curve because it looks like, well, a bell. Now, if you focus on the area that's green in the middle, you can see that represents about 70% of the data. Again, it's kind of that meaty part where most of the results are coming to life, and then it tapers off. So you get a standard deviation away, and you got about 12%, 3%, and then again, it really tapers off. This would be your normal distribution curve. Now, here's a simple data example. By the way, those are my 3 kids. Yes, everything you see in my presentation, instead of it being stock image photo, is really real pictures of me and my family and so forth, those young tykes. So what are the heights of kids age 5 to 9? What would you say the average age is? Well, to figure this out, we'd have to do a few things in this experiment. We're going to have to figure out, well, which kids should we measure, right? What's the criteria to be a kid that gets to get measured in this study? How many kids are we going to measure, and what are their actual heights? Now we can connect data. So let's say that data came in like this. Okay, you could see, if you look at this, I don't know, most of the data kind of came into that middle, looks like about, I don't know, 47, 48, 49, 50-inch mark. And then you can see as you get off the scale to the upside and off the scale to the downside, it really tapers off. Do you see how this is starting to look a little bit like that normal distribution curve? Well, you're right. Now we can determine the probability of outcome here. If we highlight in yellow, as I did here, this is kind of the sweet spot where most of that data is occurring. Remember, we're trying to find that area where we can replicate an outcome. That's really what trading is all about. And me being positioned in my early years at the firm between 2 30-year veterans, 60 years of experience. That's one of the things I learned in my my very first year of trading, is that this is not about being right or wrong or being smarter than the next person. It's about maneuvering probabilities and positioning yourself in the market where probabilities are most likely to happen. But here's the problem. Market volume data isn't arranged this conveniently where we can just find that meaty part of the and most frequently recurring part of the data set. So, but Market Profile does. This is where Market Profile provides the solution because it allows us to reorganize it. So let's talk a little bit about this here. So your normal volume at the bottom of a chart might look a little something like this. See those little gray bars down at the bottom? It can look a little different depending on what platform. But the taller the bars, the more liquidity is happening, the more meeting of the minds are occurring during that particular of corresponding period up above. You can see that, right? Okay, fine. So it's a gauge of liquidity. But here's the problem. Profiling is really about extracting data to create actionable information. Now, this is going to be the information that allows us to make a potential trading decision, long or short. So if you look at this here, we're going to put this arranged just much like how volume is arranged. Okay, where again, the higher the histogram bar is, that's more a frequently recurring price in the case of this example here. Over on the left and right, which is again how volume is arranged, fewer recurring action points are happening there. Okay, so when we plot it in this way, this is how your volume appears on your chart. Here's the big shift that happens. Now, this is simple but profound. This is where you go from analyzing volume alone as a liquidity measure to, when we flip it sideways here, now, why are we flipping it sideways, do you think? Because on a chart, your price bar, as you see it arranged on this slide on the right, that's where your prices are being arranged. So we have to point to the price in order to take this same graphic here. So in market terms, we flip the volume and we turn it into market profile so that we have an opportunity to point to prices. Because remember, as traders, we don't just come in and say, hey, I want to do something today. We've got to tell the market whether we want to buy in expectation of the market going higher or sell because we think it's going lower. But we also have to tell it. We have to tell it what price. So this is where we're taking volume and we're turning it to volume at price. Okay, and you're going to see us go here. So the red color line up top is kind of like the upper band, or in this example, that high height value of the kids that we are surveying. Well, in market terms, it might be the high price that's valuable in where 70% of that activity. And that green line down below, that's going to be that low end of the band where we're seeing the heights come in for kids ages 5 to 9, or in the case of market terms, low end of the price. That's that in that first standard deviation. Okay, so we consider that to be what we call the fair auction, okay, or value area. These are some market profile terms that you're learning already, by the way, if you're paying attention. Okay, so again, value areas between the high end and low end of that first standard deviation, where most of that activity is occurring, about 70%. To be exact, you math geek, 68.3%. I'm a math geek. This is my favorite slide about market profile. In one single slide, this is going to tell you what market profile is and how we go from traditional, just kind of standard bars to creating a different way of looking at the market where it's more meaningful for us to make a decision. Look at the chart over there on the left. You can look by the prices. This slide has been around a while. Remember, I've been teaching this stuff for a very, very long time. Over here on the left, it would be like, let's say, just a simple price bar, okay? Now, this is what if someone that says, I just trade price action, I look at charts, I don't use any way to look at the market, and they have to try to make sense of where the market's going next based upon that graphic on the very far left. Now, what TPOs are, which is time price opportunities. This is kind of getting into the origins of market profile, traditional market profile, again, going all the way back to the 1980s. The way it worked is that for each 30-minute period, they'd assign a letter, so there could be you could distinguish which periods activity was happening. So you could see it goes B, C, D, E. It continues on in this manner. Now, when we collapse our TPOs, we call these collapsed time price opportunities. This is where the magic happens, really. This is when we put all the ingredients in the bowl and we smush it down and flatten it to the left, right? Because remember, what we're trying to do is replicate the stacking of volume the way it's traditionally appears. And instead, since we're pointing it left to right, remember, we're flipping it sideways in market profile, we got to stack it to the left. So look at those green arrows show you how we're stacked to the left. Now, if you draw your attention back to the image on the left, what price do you think is the most frequently recurring price? Okay, let's see it. What price? You could type it in the chat box, okay? Some guesses coming through here. And now that's what you'd be guessing. And those are some pretty good guesses, but some people are missing, or you're kind of guessing all over the place here. But look over to the right. Each and every one of you, when you look over the right, you can tell which is the most frequently recurring price. Okay, a lot of people cheat and they look over to the right and they already see it's 1072. It's 1072. But I want you to look at the difference. You can kind of see a lot of the overlap, but it's kind of a guessing game over there on that left. Okay, over on the right, you can't get it wrong. 1072, you can see, extends furthest left to right. And so we're on to the next slide. So I realized what was needed for people to use market profile effectively. So we went out and we made it for them. Because the big downfall of traditional market profile, I'm going to tell you, is it's confusing, and not to mention it's a little clumsy, alphabet soup all over the charts. It's not, at the bare minimum, it's just not very visually appealing. Now, of course, my competitors in the market profile space, many of which may be in attendance, will beg to differ and they'll tell you otherwise. But as you'll soon see, we are the #1 market profiling tool for a reason. And it's because we've made a tool that's been around a long time, almost 2 decades, that is relied upon by professional traders on a Bloomberg terminal. We're one of a very small universe of market profile providers that have analytics on the terminal. Pretty cool. In fact, look at that image in the background. That's us out at Bloomberg Hong Kong, teaching many of the same things in a little more comprehensive fashion to a very eager group of Bloomberg traders. Again, that's Bloomberg Hong Kong office. So here's your first little teaser of what our analytics look like in the bottom left. Okay, you're going to learn a little bit more about this, but big, bold clarity. That's what we were after here at TAS Market Profile. So I'm going to go as quickly as I can to show you what we created. By the way, this is the tool I'm going to give you, so pay attention. This is called TAS Market Map. So instead of those letters, remember where it was like A, B, C, D, alphabet soup all over it, what we did is we made things letters. And we did that by design so that you could easily see the zones where the market is likely to go sideways. So I'm going to highlight right here, the red color zone right here and up here is our value area. Okay, that's going to be that area from red to green where we basically expect the market to go sideways. And then when the market actually gets outside those levels, that's when we see the vertical moves. And that's why you're seeing in this chart, once we break outside of that congestion zone. I call it rush hour traffic in big city New York, LA, San Francisco, Chicago, where I live, whatever, any big congested city near you. And I want you to remember one simple thing. When the market's in the value area, you're in rush hour traffic, markets tend to go sideways. They might bounce around up and down a little bit inside there, but your big market moves, your big breakout moves are going to typically come just like in rush hour traffic when you can put your foot on the gas and there's less traffic to have to fight through. And that's going to be these zones like you see right over here. All right. We're going to come back to that. I'm going to show you this live, provided we got time at the end of the presentation. I'm going to show you it live on NinjaTrader. Okay. The yellow line that we have there, it can be actually an aqua color line in the case of our NinjaTrader product. This identifies the single most actively traded price. Okay. So that level right there. Okay. And this level right here. Now, this is a fantastic support or resistance level. Okay, so you can actually use that because when there's a lot of activity, when that's below you, that's going to prop up the market. When that's above you, you got to fight through that. So that's resistance. So really, market profile is just a pretty awesome way to derive some support and resistance levels. So if you're familiar with that, you can do market profile. Okay, oops, there we go. Okay, so TAS boxes, by far and away our most popular indicator that we brought to the table here. So again, TAS market map, I'm going to show you how to get that at the end of this presentation, totally free, 100%. I'm coming bearing gifts. I'm not selling anything today. TAS boxes is our a popular indicator because it just gives you those explicit levels. And here's what I mean. Notice how in this same chart, we've added these lines, okay? We add these lines so you can see exactly when that market's going vertical. And then we use these boxes as they appear as little mechanisms for us to actually place stops and do things like this. So on that breakout right here, you could place a stop down below on the other side of the highway and we trail it up here. And then eventually, of course, as the market starts turning around, you're going to get stopped out. But you see how, again, it stair steps higher. And as long as we continue to stay above these boxes here, look at here, we pull back, but stay above here, you're okay. You continue to ride the long side. It's not until right here that the market starts pulling back down. And now we're breaking down below that bottom green line. Okay, the lines can be solid. They might be dash lines. In this case, they're dots. Okay, the way they're configured, you control in many regards. But here you go. Our high value area, there's your key, is that top of the box. Okay, low value area, we also call that the demand level, green in color on that key. And in between is a point of control as well. Now that's that aqua color line that represents the projected. These are projected value areas. That's why we call this dynamic profile, but everyone calls it TAS boxes. Okay, let's get into looking at some of the other tools, and I want you to really understand the rules here. Okay, I'm giving you some rules fast and furious. Okay, this is your fast track to market profile. So look at here. This is actually a chart. This is an older chart for example purposes of the Shanghai Stock Exchange Composite Index. Okay, and this is actually a look into our institutional product right here, our TAS Pro product. But the rules are the same. I want you to understand. Look right here. When we start breaking down below these green lines right here, we trade only this direction. So we say don't be long. Now, when we're above the red line, don't be short. Again, don't be short during that sequence of green, and then don't be long. And the reason why when we go to prop houses and money managers and teach them how to leverage this tool for their professional businesses, we say the most important first decision you have to make is don't be on the wrong side of the market. Okay, because again, loss avoidance is a good thing, okay? Because remember, a penny saved is a penny earned. So making the right decision on what side of the market not to be on is really important. Now, there's a few simple rules here. Let's go over what they are here on this slide. So look at these areas. Here's your key. So during the green color areas, you can see this is actually going to be, let me grab the different color. Don't be short. So it's no shorts, and you get long and stay long. Okay, during these gray areas, notice how we're inside the value area during here, the gray areas. So remember, that's between the red and the green line. Again, you're going to basically be in a situation, non-directional chop. You buy the low of those areas, again, just above the green line, sell just above the red. Again, a little breakout here, short side, then sideways, short side. But these are the moves. Again, these are your breakout continuation patterns, and these are the ones that you trade for. Okay, you trade through all the chop, you trade through take the small wins and losers as they come, but then boom, you get the follow through here, get the follow through here, and then those are your follow through breakout moves. Okay, those are your, I guess, call them your money makers. Okay. All right, let's move into our next slide. Okay, so let's really break this down. I'm going to really help you understand the rules here. That's why I'm here today, okay? So again, we're just taking a sample chart and we're going to go over some real quick rules here. Here we go. So the first is rule number 1, don't be short when prices are trading above those TAS boxes, above that red line, okay? Now here we go. Rule number 2, don't be long when the price is trading below the TAS boxes. Okay, again, those areas I highlight, you can see you're below that bottom line. Now, here's an example for you here as well. Not only do you get when to trade long or short with TAS boxes, you also get a volatility gauge. So the taller those boxes are, again, distance, red to blue line, they red to green on other platforms, the higher the volatility factor is. Okay, so low volatility is what you see down below at the bottom over here. Okay, high volatility you're seeing for that box up at the top. Now, so let's go through an example here. This is just a hypothetical, but you have to understand the rules, much like driving, before you get on the road and start driving. Otherwise, you could crash. So let's say you're long right there where I've pointed that arrow. Okay, your stop could be below the red line, or it could be down below those lines that are a little further down. So again, these 3 simple lines give you when to think about longs or short, and stop loss locations. And then again, you're going to see as new levels form, you have the ability to use these as trailing stops. We talk about this all the time in our live chat rooms community. So let's say you're short from here up above now. Okay, so you're short from here. Your stop could be above the blue line, above the POC white line, or above the red line up top. Again, you have basically at all times 3 choices of stops always at your disposal. Again, think about how much time you waste as a trader coming up with a good place to put a stop. Okay, and you could see as you look at this one here. So short down here, okay, if your stop was here, here, doesn't matter. When these new boxes form right here, what are you doing? You're taking those stops, and those stops are coming down. Okay, so it gives you the path. Now look at the market breakdown even further. What do we do at that point? You bring the stops vertically lower to these levels. So again, it's like having a little ladder with a 3-step ladder of trailing stops that you are in control of as a discretionary trader to trade. So let's say this one here, say you're long from here again. You could stay long when you're looking for profit taking and go into profit taking mode up here too. So when you start closing inside a new set of boxes, like you see in this example, those are good places to maybe scale out of a portion of your trade. If you're a multi-unit trader or scale out of some shares, that's how you can lighten your risk, and then also take that stop and trail that stop up here. So again, you're trailing behind the levels, and of course you'd be stopped out as that market works its way back down. Okay, so cool. So let's say here now on the short side, same thing. As we come down, the market moves back into those new set of TAS boxes levels. You go into cover zone there as well. Okay, everybody with me? Okay, so here's the reality. One indicator really can't show you everything. That's about as fast as I can teach you the simple basic rules of TAS boxes and market map, but we got some other cool tools as well. This one is a favorite. This is called TAS Vega. What we do with TAS Vega is we take over the coloring of traditional price bars and we give it meaning. So now you can see right here, when we're above the red line closes, bright green color bars. So it just visually helps you see the bullish nature of that market. And then over here, again, breaking down below the bottom of the box, we make the bars red. So this is not just net up, net down coloring like your traditional candles and open, high, low, close bars will give you. This gives you meaning. Again, bullish is green, bearish is red. You can see there's some gray here. So when you're inside the boxes, they turn gray. And then we give you colors with orange and yellow when we close back inside the value area. All right. All right, here's TAS Navigator, very cool tool. A lot of people mistake this for MACD, moving average convergence divergence, right? Valid, been around a long time, free on any platform. Every color you see here on MACD means something, okay? So although it shares that vertical histogram look, let's face it, as an indicator provider, I can only do so many things. I can give you colors, arrows, lines, pop-up boxes, noises, alerts. So again, don't confuse that this is MACD. So I wanted to clear the air about that. So everything you see here means something. So when you start seeing pink, magenta color warning bars up here, it means we want to tighten up stops. It means the market is not likely to sustain that trajectory. You see that big bullish move, green color bars. When we start seeing those pink, magenta color warning bars, and then we see the trajectory shift lower, that's bearish. And you can see, again, you put this in unison where you can see downward pointing trajectory starts to lend ourselves to being able to see that downside possible push lower on that move right there. All right. So we got some other indicators as well. I'm not going to cover them here today, but there's a total of 7 indicators in the suite. These give you 3 levels of support and resistance levels called price compression levels over there. You can see those levels. So you always have three levels. Statics remain intact for the whole day. Floaters actually are kind of Bollinger Band-like, except they're based in market profile. And then TAS ratio is our oscillator indicator, which is pretty good, not pretty good, really good for counter directional bias trading. Okay. So let's see this in action. I wanted to get to the live charts because this is where I think really those of you that are skeptics and naysayers and just kind of like, hey, I've been burned by indicators in the past. This is where I'm gonna earn your confidence. So let's go into some NinjaTrader charts here and let's see what we can find here. All right. Oh, hold on. They're kind of coming piecemeal here. There we go. Oh. Bear with me. There we are. Okay, cool. So we're into. Let me see if I can get. Okay, well, I think we got everything. I got my this is the developer terminal here. So cool. By the way, I'm going to bring up a bunch of different markets here. Okay, I want to show you this. So let's take a look at this here. So this is actually E-mini S&P. This happens to be a 60-minute time horizon, but let me chalk up the chart here so you can kind of see what I'm see this in action. Okay, so take a look. So this would be if you just have market map. Okay, now remember, I want to show something to you here to prove my point earlier. So this is your volume. A lot of people, again, this is all they put on their chart, and they try to make decisions based on this. So here's the spikes that, of course, happen during the main daytime session right here. But notice how it doesn't help you pick what direction to be trading or anything like that, right? It just says, okay, there's a lot of liquidity at this particular time, but nothing really lends itself to giving you a signal. Here is market map. Again, you're all going to have access to this tool shortly here. I want to show you, where is it here? Oh, there we go. So here's notice how you can see where the volume is accumulating. Remember we talked about that when market moves outside of those congestion zones. Look, there's the big move, and then even the move back through here and back again. Do you see how those biggest moves that I talked about come to life in there? This is actually a pattern I call alligator jaws. We'll probably see some other examples of this as well. It's where you got one high volume accumulation zone up top, one at the bottom, but in between there's a gap in volume that represents kind of the alligator's mouth. Let me draw this so you can see us. There we go. So there we go. See, it looks like now I got to draw an eyeball up here. Okay, scary teeth. And what you're looking for, and again, those of you in South Florida, the only time I ever recommend getting in an alligator's mouth is right here on the charts using your market map. There's your opportunity, break out to the upside, your opportunity to the downside, and right back to the upside. Again, though, you're playing inside the alligator's mouth from roof of his mouth to bottom of his jaw. Okay, one of my favorite chart patterns that happens every single day in some market, in many markets throughout the day. Okay, here is the application. So what I put here, just to keep it simple, on the left is a 60-minute chart, just the market map and just volume. Over on the right, it's adding the additional tools. Now notice the additional clarity that you get when you add the tools. Look at the bright green color bars to see the buy signal, see the sell signal, the buy signal again. Again, that's occurring when you're breaking outside the levels. Let's bring up another market here. That just happens to be E-mini S&P. We also can go to a different time horizon. Let me show you. Let's go down to, I don't know, like a 10-minute chart or something. So here's your 10-minute chart. Again, I'm just showing you what this product looks like. Everybody's going to be able to make their charts look like this on the left. Okay. And I'm going to show you exactly what to do at the end of this presentation. So you already got it. Okay. My gift to you, that chart on the left. But over on the right, this is why people come to us to get the time saving stuff like right here. At that point, knowing breaking down below that green line, bearish, 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 bearish. Now remember, you can put your stops in a few different places. Remember what we talked about? Where are the places? You can put the stop across the highway, across all 3 lines, across this line or this line. Okay. In either case, it would have been just fine. You could see all the stops held. Boom, break down there. When new levels formed here, you bring the stop here. When that new level formed, you bring the stop here. Eventually, you're going to get stopped out, worst case here. But remember my presentation. You can go into profit-taking mode over here when the market is back inside the value area, okay? So again, beautiful thing. And all we do as traders is the same thing over here. Nothing changes. We trade the long side. By the way, new signal on the short side, down below 44.60. Again, notice red to green line, that's your balance area. You trade long above the top red line. You trade short only below the bottom green line. You look for holes like we talked about over here. Markets can move fast and vertically through those areas. Okay, if you've got some markets, by the way, you want to look at, I see some people, this would be a good time to type in markets, okay? So we looked at E-mini S&P, here's gold. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Here's gold, by the way. Anybody interested in what gold looks like? Because it's a killer awesome chart. Let me go back in time here. Again, look at how long and look at how the levels have trailed this thing down. Let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see us. There we go. There. Now you can see. Okay. There we go. Got to come back. Here's the big. There you go. So here you go. This is gold. So if you don't think that TAS is worth investigating, I think this would be a good time to pay attention right here. So every time we re-break lower, we affirm the bears are in control. Bearish, bearish. All of these are huge breakdown moves. This is today. Gold, remember? Huge down day. Here's your warning that the market's not going to keep going this year. So we start looking for possible longs. This is the area you're looking for here. We got to get above this congestion. Remember what I said about that. You got to get above this congestion here because that's going to be your support. So you use your TAS market map, the tool and indicator you all now have for free, and then you're using the TAS box levels to trigger opportunity into the long side. And I like to say, look for the big open space. When you can see to the back of the chart like this, those are your areas of opportunity. Okay, those are the areas that you're looking for your big, fast, and vertical moves right there. Let me bring back here. There we go. So that's gold. I'm just trying to give you a little variety. Here's euro currency. We can bring up different time frames too. I know some of you are short-term traders. Fine, let's go. We can look at a 1 minute chart. Euro currency this time of day, 1 minute's not going to be very, very busy, but we can look at 5. How about that? There you go. It adapts to any market, any time frame, stocks included. So one of the things why I gravitated to market profile and I went out and built these tools is because I wanted something I could apply. Once I knew the rules and once I mastered the methodology and rules, I could apply it to virtually any financial decision I might make. And I'll show you stocks here in just a moment as well. So here's a 5 minute chart of the euro. I haven't looked at these charts since this morning. I finished my trading even before noon today. And so I'm looking at some of these charts for the very first time. I have not cherry picked these. I'm looking up here. Yeah, I don't know if anybody can see the chat. I see Steve up there is saying these indicators are a game changer. Don't miss out on what's going on. Yeah. Okay, so cool. Let me go into, so here's like corn. If you like ag markets, here you go. So red color bars telling you to be bearish, stay bearish, and don't be long. Again, look at right here. Well, there's a big circle. But again, you know the difference is here. So without the boxes, you're still going to be able to see the market map here, but you get those very specific levels once you add those extra indicators. Okay, and that's what's really cool. So you know to trade only the short side here, even though it's been a little sideways. I'm not surprised to see that because look, we're in that value area, that red color zone. So we're here, but you still know to trade only the short side because your TAS Vega is telling you so. And you got those, you can see that you're visually down below that green demand level line. Again, this is why people come to us. That's why in 2011, Bloomberg came knocking on our door to say, hey, you got a product that our pros can use. You know, like I'm not going to say the names of the firms that use the product, but again, a lot of them are out in New York City. So do with that as you may. Let's go take a look at, let's bring up Tesla. Here's a stock. This is a 5 minute chart. We can bring up, you know, whatever time frame we want. How about a lot of people I know like the 30 minute. Here you go. Can bring up Apple. Oh, there's Apple. Here we go. Here's Apple getting a fresh break here. Obviously, it's 4 o'clock Chicago time here now, so it's not prime time for much of anything. But you can see, look at today. Look at all you knew to be at least leaning on the short side. And again, the market continues to push down below the levels, but watch that upside. Going to be fun to watch this tomorrow because look what just happened here near the end of the day. So watch that as we stay above. You can see that level 148.68. Now remember, use these levels to place your stops right here. Pretty simple, right? You get the idea. I could go on and on. In fact, here's what I'm going to do for you guys. This is pretty cool, okay? Because I mean, there's just not enough time in a 30 to 45 minute webinar for me to really show you as much as I want to. This is far too short of a time for me to show you everything. We can, again, bring up other markets here. I'm just bringing up some other ones. Here's copper, so the industrial metal. I'm showing, I want you to focus on the clarity right here. Break to the upside, break to the downside, but focus on the clarity. Okay, you're going to get market map no matter what. Okay, you're going to be able to see where that congestion is and where it's not. But most people end up starting with market map to kind of understand this concept of using volume flip sideways, pointing to price, to see how you can lean on that as support and resistance. But then the time savings of the boxes very quickly become a high priority item. Okay, and of course we got something for you in that regard. So I'm going to show you right now what I'm going to do for you guys. Where's my screenola? It should be right there. Okay, so let me show you. So here it is. We actually just created a new microsite. We're going to add more information to this site, but this site right now is live and waiting for you. They're working on the password creation mechanism. I guess there's a little quirk in it right now, but if you go to tasmarketmap.com, this is where you can pop in your name, your email address, because we use that to activate the product. Totally free, 100%. Again, all that's there is a form. You click it, submit it, and then we shoot you over an email with instructions. Be patient. There's a little process we do to create a password for you, and I guess there's a little quirk going on, but if you're watching this on recast, it's probably already fixed. So head on over to tasmarketmap.com. This is where you can activate that indicator that you see right there on your screen. It's yours to use for free. Leverage it, use it, and of course, when you're ready, if you want to explore the other 7 indicators that we have in our total package, and if you like to consider things like our VIP Traders Club, that's where you can join me live streaming, teaching in live market conditions, the analytics, talking you through charts, taking your interactive questions, and even just hanging out with other like-minded traders. And I see some people that are some familiar faces in here. Hey guys, from the chat room. And you'll be able to hang out with others. So even when I'm not live streaming, you're able to say, hey, do you guys see this chart on NinjaTrader? Is that thing breaking out on the gold? Do you see the same thing I am? And other members that have the same tools as you and are using Market Map can say, yeah, I think we got something there. I let you guys share ideas direct, okay? I have no part of that. I don't manage money. I'm not an advisor. All of that stuff. Remember, I'm a guy who's got some pretty cool analytical software tools. I teach you how to use them. I'm not an advocate of mere trading or follow the leader, okay? Because that's just teaching you how to be dependent. That's not the purpose of the chat room in our community. It's me teaching you how to be independent, how to be not dependent on somebody else. And unfortunately, all those chat rooms out there that are saying, hey, just do what I do, they're grooming you to be dependent. I want to teach you a methodology based on the #1 ranked market profile tool. Literally, there's exchanges with over 700 apps out there. I have no doubt in short order, we will be the #1 most popular indicator also right here on the NinjaTrader ecosystem. What's the date? It's September 16th. You can say I said it here first, and we're giving it away for free. That's even better, right? I'm willing to take questions, you guys. So I'm leaving a few minutes. We're going to try to keep it to about 5 because I know Juanita is cringing her teeth that I ran maybe a little long. But if you got questions, now's a good time. I'm looking at the chat right up here. Someone wants to see my ticker? Yeah, sure. I'll let you watch the webcam. There, my ticker's up there. Yeah. I don't trade off that. I haven't figured out how to get TAS Market Profile to show up a display on the stock ticker. Okay, question coming in here. Let's see so tasmarketmap.com. It should work. I was just there moments ago. Let's see. There it is. I'm there right now. Right up here. Maybe you got to put the www. Here it is right here. Can you see my screen? So that's the website. It should look like this. Super simple. All you do is click this, complete that form. I mean, talk about simple. My web guys put this up to keep it super simple. We've got, obviously, you want to learn more about our other products. Candid Commodities is candidcommodities.com. Okay, here's good questions. All right. Works on daily charts on stocks. So if you're a long-term stock trader and you like to buy and hold, absolutely fine. Other questions coming in. What is the stop strategy that you're using? It seems like those stops are extremely large. Nope, they're only large if you choose to pick one of the larger distances. Remember, you got 3 levels. Remember that first level is just outside where the breakout happened. So there's one that's actually a very modest one. So you got 3 levels. Again, it's not always, in some cases it might be a wide stop to put it all the way across all 3 levels. But remember, the height of those boxes vary. When volatility is wider, remember those boxes stretch out from red to green line, and you need to work a wider stop. Otherwise, you shouldn't be making the trade. So it's not just a flat, 5-point stop on every single thing. How much is the access to the VIP Traders Club? It's a great I'm glad you asked. It's an awesome thing. You also get some extra stuff. Let me show you. Here's a cool little tool called the Edge that we use. It's an awesome day trading tool for even the S&P, NASDAQ, and the Dow. And this basically summarizes how bullish and bearish the market is. And also you get this cool tool, which is our own piece of software. It's a market scanner. Look at this. And it basically is a scanner based upon market profile, the TAS way. I'm not aware of any other proprietary scanner that's out there that's a standalone piece of software. So you get indicators, that tool, access to the chat room. It's not much more expensive. Just so you know, the cost of, some of you are asking, what's the cost of the Indicator 7? It's $197 a month. But we run the VIP Traders Club where you can join me live stream, get interactive. It's a great way to get through the learning curve. And in fact, if you click this right here, you can get all the details. It's $897 a quarter, which, do the math, it's under $300 a month. So the indicators by themselves, all 7, is $200 a month. We do it by a quarterly membership, and we do that by design because, look, it's a community. We don't want kind of people that come in and then leave after 3 days. So we know everybody in there is at least in there for a few months, and most people very much longer. So we realize people are building friendships and so forth. So quarterly, but it's $897. So basically for about $100 or about $100 more per month, you get 2 additional pieces of software. This, again, those are standalone utilities in addition to, of course, your indicators on your NinjaTrader. And then you also get access to the chat room, which I have up here. I see people chatting away right now. And I can give you a quick little peek inside here, just if you want to take a little, just real quick, just see how this is what it looks like here. I'm not letting you you don't need to dive into the reading or whatever, but people share chart, like there you go. This is a member, Rob, sharing a chart. Fine. Okay, you get the idea. See chart sharing, talking about stuff. You get the idea. Okay. You get access to that. So it's a great little place. Like, you've got a question like, on the settings, and we have a lot. Actually, most of the vast majority of people in the community are NinjaTrader users. So it's a great place. I see a lot of new NinjaTrader users or new to our tool on Ninja come in and say, hey, what's that setting? And how do I get an additional market map? Here's the thing I wanted to say for you guys. Again, I'm giving you the tool for free. Okay. And if you get the free tool, I do host webinars where I invite you for free to come in. Now, it's not my live market streams that I do each and every day. Okay, that's for my VIPs. But I do webinars where I'll show you, hey, come in, I'm gonna show you how to set up multiple maps, how to change some settings and stuff. And let me again get back to the charts here to kind of show you what I mean by that. Like, if you go back in time here, I know I'm just kind of, but you see, I put multiple maps here, so I can quickly see and identify these zones that the market's going sideways. Look at, boom, look at how the market goes sideways right there in that zone. Look over here how the market turns around to the upside and how it breaks out once it gets above these zones. Look at this here. Again, look at how that market really surges. And this pattern recurs throughout the day. That's what's neat. So if I move this over here a little bit, I will show you how to put these maps. So we got videos on the website too, and so forth. So it's a lot of self-help, but if you like the idea, if you like to learn by interacting, getting instant feedback by other traders that are using the same tools as you, the VIP is absolutely the way to go. It is a great deal. And the annual plan is an even better deal in reality. So yeah, so you get the free indicator, and there's video in the welcome email. It'll show you, but like I can show you a couple little quick tricks here. So if I go to indicator, here we go, market map. Let's go to this one right here. And you could change the density of it. So if I change number of bins means kind of how many lines are stacked. So let's say I make this 150. Now watch what happens to that first one over here when I hit this. See how it turns darker? So you can change the granularity. Say I want to make it kind of more transparent. I can make it really transparent by, I don't know, change it to like 40. See? But you can make it really dark. 200 lines. See, this is why this is the #1 tool. There's so many ways you can customize this thing. I kind of like 50 or 75 on NinjaTrader. I think it looks good at 75. This right here, this bar 1 is saying how many bars ago do you want to start the analysis? Okay, so this bar right here, that's 50 bars ago, and then you see it says 0 to the, and to what bar? Well, the 0 bar in this case. So this one over here is actually set to 100. Okay, so if I go to that one, watch this. You can see that one is set to 100. Okay, because I'm starting 100 bars ago from the present. So if I start from here, that's 100 bars ago, and then we have it end at 51 bars ago, so it doesn't overlap. So bar 1 means where do I start? How many bars from the present of whatever chart you're looking at? And then where do you want it to end? Very popular to do 50 bar increments. You could do whatever you want. Some people do 30. Some people like that are big longer term traders like to do even longer term, do something like a 200. If you'd like the 200-day moving average, you can do a 200 bar look back on the map. Okay, so it's basically 3 things you control: where to start it, bar 1, where to stop it. These are bars from the present. So 100 bars from the present, 51 bars from the present. This number here, the bigger the number you put there, the more dense the appearance is, and the thinner, the lower, the one to be more transparent. The default's 50, by the way. So you get the idea. So again, you get with your free tool that you have access to, and hey, look, there's no rush. Guys, we've got thousands and thousands of people on this product, okay? And we do on NinjaTrader too, and we're going to have a heck of a lot more once people realize that this is a free tool. There's no rush. When you're ready to add boxes and learn about them and learn about how, you know, kind of change it, like watch this chart. So watch, this is the 30-minute copper chart with just the free tool, which is great. I mean, look at what you have here, and boom, you see where the market's going sideways, where it's breaking out. You can see the areas. Look at how it goes even sideways here. You can see it. Now watch what happens when I add the boxes. Okay, watch them. Go here real quick. Bear with me. Scroll down. Once you get our files, we email them to you, the installation. I'm going to go like this. Here's the boxes. I'm going to say apply. Wait, I got to add. Then I hit apply. Okay, now look at those levels you got to lean on. Now let me add real quick. Here we go. I'm going to go down, scrolling down to TAS indicators, go to the T's. They're all glumped. And now Vega, now watch this chart turn into amazing clarity here. Add, now watch this. Boom. Did you see it? That right there. Now you can see it. Bullish, okay? Bearish. And then remember, all you're doing with those stops, again, your breakouts, so you're breaking out long right there. Your stops can be here, but as new levels form, you trail them down. Okay, some of these, if the market goes intra-bar above the levels, make no mistake about it, you might get stopped out if the market doesn't stay contained down below. But remember the important thing of the lesson I taught you. Okay, so let's say you got stopped out on the short side, and you made this. That's what you made. You got stopped out. It's not the end of the world. Okay, you at least know as that market breaks lower, you should still not be getting long. Okay, so it's keeping you out of a bad trade, kind of a doomed situation. So remember, sidestepping bad trades and losers helps your balance, your bottom line, as much as, I know it's not as exciting as finding a new fresh opportunity. But again, look at the areas where you see it happening. Okay, I got a ton of questions coming in here. You know what I'd like to do, and I'm willing to do it. I'll talk to my team about this. Here's what I'll do. You guys sign up for the free market map, and I will send an invitation to do kind of a fast track of the NinjaTrader version of the TAS Market Map free tool, so I can address all these questions. Okay. This is for, we have the yes, it works for NinjaTrader 7 and NinjaTrader 8. Yes.
Hey, Steve, we got to get close.
I know. I was waiting for you to come in.
Do you,
Thanks for having me.
do you mind just closing out real quick here, and then
Yep.
I'll go ahead and get
Let me do it. Let me do it right now. Okay.
If anybody would like to personally send Steve an email, I'm sure he's more than happy to keep taking on questions. If you want to throw your email in the room there, Steve. Or
yep, I'll do it right now. I'm sure. Well, I'm going to post it right now. Okay. And I'll send you the link to the free market map. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And a special thank you to Steve of Candid Commodities for a great presentation. Everyone in attendance here today will receive an on-demand recording of today's event, so just keep an eye out for that email. NinjaTrader Ecosystem is pleased to sponsor these weekly vendor events as a value-added service for our clients. If you find value in them, we hope that you'll attend them on a regular basis. We'd like to remind you the information provided in this was that of Candid Commodities and not of NinjaTraders. All information was for educational purposes and should not be construed as trading advice. Again, we appreciate the time you spend with us. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a great day. Thank you again, and happy trading from Ninja.